The myth of Lord Ruthven is one of the most influential vampire legends in Western literature, rooted in early 19th century Gothic fiction. Though not an ancient myth in the traditional sense, Lord Ruthven's story helped shape the modern image of the vampire, influencing literature, folklore, and popular culture for centuries to come. The character of Lord Ruthven was introduced in The Vampyre, a novella written by John Polidori in 1819. This work is significant because it is considered the first published vampire story in English literature. Polidori was inspired by the dark and aristocratic figure of Lord Byron, and many believe Ruthven was a thinly veiled satire of Byron himself. Unlike the grotesque vampires of Eastern European folklore, Lord Ruthven was a refined nobleman, charming, mysterious, and dangerously seductive. In The Vampyre, Ruthven is a wealthy and enigmatic aristocrat who gains the trust of a young traveler named Aubrey. At first, Ruthven appears charismatic and generous, but Aubrey soon notices his disturbing behavior. Wherever Ruthven goes, misfortune follows: ruined reputations, seduced women, and unexplained deaths. Aubrey eventually discovers Ruthven's dark secret. He is a vampire who preys upon the innocent, feeding on their life force. The true horror of the story lies in Ruthven's ability to blend into high society, hiding his monstrous nature behind a mask of charm and sophistication. What makes Lord Ruthven so important is that he transformed the vampire from a terrifying creature of peasant folklore into an elegant, aristocratic predator. Before The Vampyre, most vampire legends came from Eastern European traditions, where these creatures were described as hideous reanimated corpses, feeding on the blood of the living. Ruthven changed that image, paving the way for later literary vampires, including Count Dracula. His refined and manipulative nature became a template for the seductive vampires we see in modern stories, from Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire to contemporary films and television. The name Lord Ruthven itself became synonymous with the vampire archetype. After Polidori's story, other authors borrowed the name for supernatural characters, reinforcing his association with darkness and mystery. Over time, Ruthven became less of a specific literary character and more of a symbol, an early prototype of the cunning and aristocratic vampire. Lord Ruthven's legacy is evident in how we continue to portray vampires today. His myth may not be an ancient legend passed down through generations, but it is one that reshaped the way we view these immortal beings. Without Ruthven, there might never have been Dracula, Lestat, or the countless vampires that have captured our imagination for over 2 centuries. His story reminds us that the most terrifying monsters are often those who hide in plain sight, wearing a mask of charm and sophistication while preying on the unsuspecting.